for you guys and just do some dialogue and see what God is saying for you and us. All right, we're going to jump right in. I'll be coming from first Jeremiah chapter 5 through 10, and I'll be reading the Message version. It says, before I shaped you in the womb, I knew all about you. Before you saw the light of day, I had holy plans for you, a prophet to the nations. That's what I had in mind for you. But I said, hold it, Master God, look at me. This is Jeremiah talking to God. He says, God told me, don't say I'm only a little boy. I'll tell you where to go, and you'll go. I'll tell you what to say, and you'll say it. Don't be afraid of the soul. I'll be right there looking after you. God's decree. God reached out to Jeremiah, and he touched his mouth, and he said, look, I've just put words in your mouth, hand delivered. See what I've done? I've given you a job to do amongst all the nations and governments, a red letter day. Your job is to pull up and tear down, take apart and demolish, and then start over, building and planning. God, we ask God that now you will hide me behind the cross, God, that use me, God, that people will see none of me, but yet all of you. God, we thank you, God, for this word. We ask God that you allow God to rest on our hearts and speak to our very situation. God, we love you, we adore you. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. So growing up for me, I'm facing a lot of things in life. And, I always thought, it always made me feel less of a person when I went through, what I was doing, what I was going through. And I always ask God, why am I going through this? You say I'm supposed to be this, and you send word that I'm going to be this and that, and people come to me and say I'm this and that, but yet I'm going through things as if I'm nothing. If I can be transparent for a second, I used to go to parties, I used to smoke weed, I used to drink and everything, and still came to church and cried out and played with God for a long time. I always said to God, I can't serve you now because I've did all of these things, and I'm not worthy of the life that I was living, that I'm not worthy of living this lifestyle of serving you, because yet I came to church and I pretended that I was living this pure and healthy lifestyle, and I really wasn't. Come to church and I cry out, and the next day, well, not even the next day, but as soon as I go home, I'm back to doing what I was never supposed to be doing as a Christian and as a believer in God. And now that was probably wasn't the same argument for Jeremiah, but it was as if, as me, you, and him having the same thing, we didn't believe in ourselves. We thought for whatever reason we wasn't able to be and do what God has called us to do. And on today, I want to tell you, navigators, that God doesn't put anything in front of you that you're not able to defeat. That who you was and even who you was to be can't deter you from what God has called you to do. And you might ask me the question, how do you know that I'm called to even be what God has called me to do or be? Well, navigators, I come to give you 3 points today that will help you come in alignment to know that it's your time and you're called to do what God has called you to do. Point 1, you were shaped and formed before you were born. Verse 5 says, and he says, before I shaped you in the womb, God is saying to Jeremiah, I knew all about you. So before you even knew that who you were, I already knew you. Why? Because I created you. Before the light of day, before you saw the light of day, he said, I had holy plans for you. So right there it says I have holy plans for you. So even though you look, man, going back to me thinking what I was going through, I wasn't able to live up to what God had for me, but he already had planned for me to have holy days, to be prosperous. And it says a prophet to the nations. That's what I had in mind for you. Have you ever got up on one Sunday morning or every Sunday morning and your mom said, hey, you're going to church, or hey, come in this living room and now, as we're doing now, watch this live, watch this service. And you're like, oh, all right, Mom. You was not asked, but you were told. Okay, that was me. I was never asked to go to church. I was told to go to church. And And then on the way to church, you're already kind of tired because you really don't want to go to church. Then mom says, yeah, Mother Jones put you down to pray. And this got to be the Sunday when it's family and friends Sunday, and everybody going to be there, and they ask you to pray. After you done stayed up all night playing a video game, and you're all tired now, Mother Jones asks you to pray. Yes, I know that wasn't Jeremiah's argument to God, but his same argument was, you called me to something that I never agreed to before I was even conscious of knowing who I was. And yes, I know you really didn't want to pray. Mother Jones put you down to pray. One, the reason why you were probably frustrated because she didn't even ask you. Your mom didn't even ask you, do you want to go to church? And then on top of that, Mother Jones didn't even ask you if you wanted to pray. Mother Jones didn't even speak to you on Sunday morning. So you just like, she just put you down and you're like, all right. And then number two, you might have thought that you wasn't able or equipped enough to pray. You probably thought that you, because you don't pray like he or she, that you wasn't able to stand up there and pray. But what I come to tell you is, the thing about God is whatever he puts in front of you, you're more than able to stand against. And verse 6 through 8 says, but I said, hold it, Master. God looked at me. I don't know anything, Jeremiah is saying. He says, I'm a boy. God told me, don't say I'm a boy. I'll tell you where to go and you go. I'll tell you what to say and you'll say it. Jeremiah, don't be afraid of a soul. God said, don't be afraid of his soul. I'll be right there looking after you. God's decree. Sometimes in life, we doubt ourselves and say, I'm not old enough, or I don't even look like I'm supposed to be doing this, or I don't even know enough information to be doing this. And that was exactly Jeremiah. Jeremiah thought he wasn't old enough to preach the gospel. He wasn't old enough to go to the nations. But what I come to tell you today is that it doesn't, a gift or an assignment doesn't have an age or a look on it. God can really use anybody. And we often sometimes think that we're destined to do other stuff. I always thought that I was going to be this big and bad, strong, and skilled NFL player. I was like, I'm going to the NFL. I don't care if somebody tells me I'm not. I'm going to the NFL because I just loved football. I love that passion. So I wrote my own plan. And I said, this is what I'm going, this is what I'm going to do. And even sometimes we think we want to be a doctor, so we go to school. Or we just want to work that 9-to-5 job and make that good money. But God's plan will never be pointless in our lives. Even after we take our detours, whether it is going to school for a little bit and finishing, and whether it is doing that 9-to-5 job, those are our detours, but God always had a plan for us, and we think sometimes that we're not supposed to go through what God has planned. But it really is the way that God had from the beginning. Navigators, you are chosen before you were born, and no matter what comes against you during your season of preparation, you can do it. And that brings me to my second point. Second point is he gives you that assignment. It says God reached out, touched my mouth, and said, look, I've put the words in your mouth, hand delivered. So what I've done, I've given you a job to do among the nations and the governments in red letter day. Your job is to pull up and tear down, take apart and demolish, then start over, building and planning. How often do we do things that we wasn't supposed to do, but we just do out of kindness of our heart, but it wasn't our assignment. And I think that was probably Jeremiah. He was like, well, I don't want to do this. I feel like I should do it. And it wasn't his assignment, but he was doing it. He felt like he shouldn't have been doing it. But God told him that was his assignment. And then later on down, again it said, God gave it to him himself. God gave him those words. God put that gift inside of him. God put that wisdom and knowledge inside of him. And the thing about God is, when he gives you something, he gives you a full blueprint of it. And he delivered it to you himself. He doesn't send it to no third party or send it through any third party like UPS or FedEx. He gives it to you himself. It's just like those pair of Jordans that you sit outside and you camp for. And how would it be if you got a pair of Jordans and Michael Jordan, brought those Jordans to you at your house? Or to make it even more modern now, what if Steph Curry brought you those pairs of shoes that he won his first NBA title game in? What if he brought it to you and then signed it himself? It's something different when the person that created that thing that you really are destined for, that you really want, and he brings it to you. He will tell you where to go. And how about it, youth? I come to tell you today, stop thinking that you can't because you can. God has given you the tools to go and just do it. So after we know that we are called for this even before we were born, and now that we've been given our task and assignment, we have authority. We can at times not do things because we feel as if people don't listen. We feel as if we don't have the power or we don't believe in who we are. It's just like if somebody, a little child came to you and said, "Stop talking," you're gonna be like, "Who are you? You can't tell me to stop talking." Why? Because we look at their authority. Some people sometimes say, "Oh, you're not old enough to tell me this. You're not old enough to tell me that." But God gives us authority. And Luke 10:19 says it like this. It says, "I have given you authority to trample over snakes and scorpions and to overcome all power of the enemy. Nothing will harm you." So in other words, whatever stands before you, God gives you the okay to already defeat it. You ever feel like you're too small and you're unqualified for your present victory? Don't. The thing that God told Jeremiah, he says, your job is to pull up and tear down, take apart and demolish, and then start over, building and planning. The thing about God is he doesn't give you half of that assignment. What I believe what God was saying to Jeremiah is some things you're gonna in your life you're gonna have to pull up and keep. Some people you're gonna have to keep right there. Other things you're gonna have to tear down and kill and really disconnect from. Whatever you do, whether it's pulling up or tearing down, in your life you will always be building and planting seeds. And thing about seeds are when you plant them in the right soil, it nourishes. And sometimes it takes long, sometimes it doesn't, but sometimes, all the time, whenever you plant something, it grows as long as it's pure soil. So navigators, and any other youth that's watching, I come to tell you, as a voice of God, begin to build again, begin to walk in who you are, begin to be yourself, because truth of the matter is no one else can do what you do. Only you can do what you are assigned to do. Why? Because it was made just for you. So on today, we ask God that you would touch the heart of the youth, touch the heart of this generation, that we will be able, God, to walk in who we are, that we will be able, God, to be ourselves and just do and know that it's our time to come out. It's our time to write. It's our time to sing how we like to sing, how you've created us to sing. God, we just love you. We ask, God, that now you even go into the houses and if you're watching this in your car, if you're watching this on your job, God, that you would touch the heart of your people and your youth. God, that they will be able, God, to be comfortable in who they are and be able, God, to be comfortable within their self. God, we love you. We ask, God, that you allow this to minister to us even the deeper, God, as we go throughout our week. God, we love you, we adore you, we honor you, we praise you, we'll forever give you all the honor, all the glory, and yet all the praise. In Jesus' name we pray.
To those last points that Minister Tory gave us. He said, God created us and he knew us before we were even born. It just brought me to mind, you guys, that say if you had a blank piece of paper, someone gave you a blank sheet of paper and said, draw yourself a hero. Create yourself a hero on this piece of paper. And you draw it, and you look at it, and you say, here's my superhero, but he's supposed to be super. You done created your hero with a type of big or small head, big or small feet. However you wanted to create your hero, that's how you created it. But now when you look at it, hey, you said draw a superhero. So now my hero has to be super. My hero needs to have some power. Just like